a little bit more research, a little bit of more digging to figure out who are these people, what's this project about. The first name that we saw in the headline is Claire Foy. So she's joined a project called Dust, which is a psychological horror film, and it's based on a short film collaboration. So yeah, I was watching Hereditary the other day, and I was thinking, when I read this headline, I'm like, oh, this is a potential great vehicle. She might add herself to the Scream Queen set. So I'm not really familiar with the actress in terms of what she's done with The Crown, but on your end, is there any significant films or performances for you where she sort of like is a cut above?
Well, firstly, I'm a big fan of The Crown, so she was
Oh,
great.
great.
She was actually great in that. But for me, just to give a quick recap of the plot here, this is a film that will find Claire Foy playing a young mother in the 30s in Oklahoma, who becomes sort of increasingly stifled and trapped by these dust storms, which are sort of frequent in the area, and then takes extreme measures to protect her family. The thing that hops out to my mind, actually, reading that synopsis and thinking about the actress, is Steven Soderbergh's Unsane, which is, the Variety says this film, Dust, will be sort of a minimalist aesthetic. And while Insane isn't exactly minimalist, it's a very contained film that's entirely driven by her performance. And I think this is another opportunity or another sort of situation where the story of this mother who's sort of increasingly, I guess, going mad, will be driving this tale as well. So I think Claire Foy is great. I think she's a great actress, uh, whose range has probably not been fully explored yet. I mean, she was Elizabeth Salander in the not so great Spider's Web reboot, but she was very good. I think she was kind of not used very well in First Man, but
Mhm.
yeah, I think it's very, very interesting. And I think the other interesting element here is the producer, and maybe you can speak to that a little bit.
So the producing tandem, we have somebody who's been in the business for about a decade plus, and Alex Madigan. She's done her most notable film is Winter's Bone, Deborah Granik's film. She also did a great Iraqi film. She's very choosy about the items that she tackles. Some of her more recent fare, I wouldn't be surprised if you haven't heard of the titles before. Lucas Joaquin, again, mentioning Sella and the Slade, but he also did the Evening Hour, which was at Sundance this year, and he has participated on at least 3 Ira Sachs films on some producing capacity. So it's an exciting producing team. And in terms of the filmmakers, so this is a project that was at the Sundance Labs. Specifically, there was a 2014 stint at the Screenwriters Lab, the same year that Anna Lily Amirpour was there with the Bad Batch. So it's Karrie Crouse and Will Joines, and they worked on the short, and she actually co-wrote Martha Stiffen's first film, Pilgrim Song. So they've been working on this project for a while. I imagine it took a while to put the pieces together, but once you find that actress who's willing to go to bat for a project, and especially a genre project like this, then I think all the elements then fall into place. So I can imagine this being something that we might find at Sundance if it goes into production fairly soon. But then again, is Sundance going to happen next year? We don't know. But it's something that, as you were saying, that it feels isolated. I was thinking of Take Shelter a little bit. So apparently it's going to be a little bit easier in terms of the filming conditions for this. If you've got a very small character set, then yeah, you can go about it safely and soundly, and yeah, maybe it'll take place in Oklahoma as the screenplay it's based on.
Hi, I'm Eric Lavallée. I'm editor-in-chief and site owner for IONCINEMA.com, and this is
Kevin Jagernauth, contributing writer for the playlist.
and together we are IndieSponge.